Hello! Welcome back! Join me today as we read about the downfall of a man who used his girlfriend and how he met his end. This story comes from Nigeria, but I'll be reading it to you in my own words. So let's get right into the story. Prince was just 21 years old, tall, slim, and handsome, in a way that made girls smile without him even trying. On campus, he wasn't the richest nor the smartest, but he had charm and he knew how to use it. What he wanted most was the soft life. Comfort, fine clothes, the latest phone, money in his pocket, and the respect that came with being called chairman. One day, Prince met a woman who would change everything for him. Mrs. Belinda. She was 44 years old, but age only added to her allure. She was beautiful, confident, and powerful with thriving businesses, a fleet of cars, and a mansion in East Lane. Belinda lived like a queen. For Prince, she wasn't just attractive. She was opportunity. And for Belinda, Prince was exactly what her lonely nights had been missing. Young, fresh, and full of energy. The attraction was instant. Belinda opened her wallet and Prince stepped into a new world. She paid his school fees in advance, gave him a car, rented him a fully furnished apartment off campus, bought him clothes, sneakers, perfumes, and watches. Overnight, he transformed from a struggling student into a campus king. But her love came with conditions. One evening, as her fingers traced his cheek, she whispered, "Prince, I'm giving you all this because you are mine. After school, you'll marry me! No other girls! I'm the one funding your life." Prince smiled, kissed her hand, and agreed. Of course, he did. Who would say no when gold was being laid at their feet? But in his heart, he had no intention of keeping that promise. To him, Belinda was a sponsor, a bank, not a soulmate. On campus, he lived like a star. He threw money around at parties, drove his car past envious classmates, and basked in the attention of beautiful girls. By day, he played the role of Belinda's loyal boyfriend. By night, he was the campus ladies' king, slipping into hostels and spoiling girls with money that wasn't even his. But secrets never stay buried forever. One girl he was seeing posted a picture of them together on Instagram. Prince didn't notice, but Belinda did. She stared at the photo for a long time, her face calm, her heart burning. She didn't shout. She didn't fight. She simply whispered to herself, "So, this is how you want to play me? Fine." From that night, her plan began. She called him a few days later, her voice soft and sweet. "Baby, come over tomorrow. I've got some money for your exams." Prince's eyes lit up. Money was always a reason to show up. The next afternoon, he walked into her mansion, relaxed as ever. She served him his favorite drink, chilled and neatly poured. Without hesitation, he drank. Within minutes, his vision blurred and his body grew heavy. His last sight before collapsing was Belinda's calm, steady face, watching him in silence. When he woke, everything was different. He was tied to a bed in a dimly lit room. The windows sealed, the walls bare. Panic rose in his chest. He pulled at the ropes, but they were too tight. The door creaked open, and Belinda stepped inside, dressed elegantly, her perfume thick in the air. "Prince," she said softly, "after everything I've done for you, you thought you could use me and walk away? Never. If I can't have you, no one will." Days blurred into nights. Belinda visited him with food, untied him just enough to eat, then bound him again. Sometimes she stroked his hair, whispering, "This is for our love." Other times, her voice turned sharp, reminding him that he belonged only to her. Prince begged, cried, promised to be faithful, but she only smiled and shook her head. "You sold yourself for money, Prince. Now you'll pay the price." Weeks passed. On campus, his friends noticed his absence. Rumors spread, then panic, then a police investigation. Belinda, calm and confident, denied everything until CCTV footage revealed Prince driving into a compound the day he disappeared. But no footage showed him leaving. The police returned with a warrant. Hours of searching revealed a hidden room. And there he was, weak, shaking, tied to the bed. "Help me," he whispered, as tears streamed down his face. The truth shattered everything. Belinda was arrested, dragged out in handcuffs, as neighbors whispered in shock. Prince was freed, but freedom didn't erase the scars. He never returned to campus. The once flashy chairman now lives quietly, haunted by Belinda's voice in his nightmares. His body was free, but his mind was still locked in that dark room. Wow, that was an intense story, wasn't it? Let us take a moment to reflect on the main points of the story before moving on to the discussion questions. In this story, we meet Prince, a young man who sets out to live the so-called soft life, a term used to describe a lifestyle focused on comfort and luxury. He does this primarily through his relationship with Belinda, a much older woman who is attracted to Prince's youth and energy. Their relationship is transactional, with Belinda providing all the material things that Prince desires in exchange for his company and eventually his commitment. However, Prince has no intention of honoring this commitment, showcasing his manipulative and deceptive nature. The story takes a dramatic turn when Belinda discovers Prince's infidelity through a photograph posted online by one of his girlfriends. Enraged and feeling betrayed, she retaliates by imprisoning Prince in her house, subjecting him to captivity and torture. This act of revenge showcases Belinda's obsessive and possessive nature, highlighting the toxic aspects of their relationship. As the story progresses, Belinda's actions become increasingly erratic and violent. Instead of seeking a peaceful or legal resolution to the situation, she resorts to extreme measures, holding Prince captive and denying him basic human rights. This descent into madness serves as a cautionary tale, emphasizing the dangers of unchecked obsession and the consequences of treating others as mere objects for personal gratification. Finally, Prince is rescued by the police after several weeks of captivity. Although he is physically freed, the experience leaves him traumatized, forcing him to withdraw from his previous life. The story concludes with Prince living in hiding, forever haunted by the ordeal he endured at the hands of Belinda. His rescue comes at a great cost, leaving him with psychological scars that will likely endure for the rest of his life. This story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of greed, lust, and unchecked obsession. It warns against the pursuit of material wealth and pleasure at the expense of ethical behavior and human dignity. Additionally, the story also critiques the toxic aspects of romantic relationships, particularly those characterized by manipulation, possessiveness, and a lack of empathy. Through the downfall of its characters, this story advocates for the importance of integrity, compassion, and the need to treat others with respect. Now, let's move on to the discussion questions. What do you think about Prince's actions and mindset throughout the story? Do you agree that he treated Belinda merely as a means to obtain material possessions and power? How does the story explore the themes of greed and the pursuit of material wealth? What do you think about Prince's attitude towards his relationship with Belinda? Do you think his actions were solely driven by self-interest and the desire for luxury? Let's continue with the next set of questions. How does the story portray the dangers of toxic relationships? Can you identify any warning signs in Belinda's behavior that should have alerted Prince to the risks involved in their relationship? What do you think about Belinda's reaction to Prince's infidelity? Do you think her actions were justified given the circumstances, or do you feel that they were extreme and disproportionate? Why? Let's keep discussing with these questions. How does the story critique the values and behaviors associated with the soft life movement? Do you think the story suggests that the desire for comfort and luxury is inherently wrong? Or is it the means by which people choose to attain these things that truly matters? What is the significance of the story's ending, and how does it contribute to its overall message? Do you think Prince's rescue brings him true freedom? Or are the psychological scars he endures a reminder of the lasting impact of his choices? And finally, what do you think is the main lesson or message that the author wants to convey through this story? How does the story challenge readers to examine their own attitudes towards love, relationships, and the pursuit of material wealth? Thanks for joining me in this thought-provoking discussion. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Your insights are valuable and can contribute to a deeper understanding of the story and its themes. Remember to support the channel. Until next time!